Okay, so it is time for our next speaker. We will welcome our uh, guest speaker to Mr. Srou Lihol from New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. And he is an illustrator of this center. And he will present about the topic of evaluating effectiveness of teacher mentoring in Cambodia, primarily result of teacher pre-service. Okay, so please welcome our guest speaker, and he will play the video record. After this video, you can raise up some question to us. Okay, so let's start.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased to
Oh,
be here. Thank you, the moderator, that given the topic. So it will link from what Bonat just present about the NGS and about the New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. So in this study, we focus on the effectiveness of teacher mentoring that focus on NGS and NGPRC. So I will play the video, and then I can work with the question if you can ask in the chat box. So let's enjoy the video and ask the question in the chat box. My name is Lihol. I'm currently working as the Educational Research Instructor at New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. Today, I'm really pleased to be here to do a presentation about the research study, which is entitled Evaluating the Effectiveness of Teacher Mentoring in Cambodia. And this is the preliminary result of the teacher pre-survey. This research study is supported by the Asia Foundation under Pedagogical Gymnast program, coordinated by Cambodia Action to Promote Education, and conducted by New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. We have our 5 members in our research team, as you can see in this slide. Let's move to the content. So the first, I will give a short introduction about the NGS and NGPRC. The second, I will tell about the purpose of this research study. The third one is about the research methodology employed in the study. Fourth, about the key result, which is focused on the teacher pre-surveys. And last but not least is the conclusion and the next plan in this study. Okay, so let's move to the introduction about the New Generation School. It is integrated by Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport in 2014, which aim to create a new development tracks within the public education system that will lead to the creation of autonomous public school, which receive high investment linked to a new standard of accountability and governance, as well as the professional standard for 21st century learning. Currently, we do have 11 schools across the country from primary to the upper secondary level. But as you know that it is kind of new model, so there are many challenges. That is why in 2019, Ministry established the New Generation Pedagogical Research Center. That is the center that aim to train the teacher to be a school-based mentor who can help the teacher to grow professionally and morally in order to make their schools as the exciting and engaging place to learn. And one more important thing is to enable the extension of NGS across the country. Since we have only 11 right now, we want more than that. In this study, NGS is like the demand side, and New Generation Pedagogical Research Center as the supply side. We train our mentor, and our mentor will work there after they graduate. Here is the first cohort of our mentor. We do have 25 mentors right now, and majority of them are working at the NGS, while some of them are working at the TEC Battambang, TEC Phnom Penh, and also NIE. But the study just focus on NGS. The study aimed at refining the syllabus and practical mentor training under the NGPRC program. Training a mentor is quite new in Cambodia context or even in the world, as provides the master degree for the mentor. So we need the empirical study to tell us about our syllabus and about our training course. Also, to make an empirical evidence available for the development of mentoring policy framework in Cambodia. We need it. That's why research is needed. And last is to develop the research plan for continuous evaluation of the teacher mentoring. Right now, it's just kind of practice. We don't have any scientific study, any scientific research to prove. So we need a concrete plan for the research and to see whether the mentoring program is effective or not. About the research methodology, in these studies, we employ the mixed method, which means that qualitative and quantitative are employed together. And we focus on the 6 new generation schools at the secondary level only, and also focus on NGPRC at the supply side. We divide into 3 main phases. For the phase 1, we conduct a pre-survey by using online survey as the COVID make the school close, so we cannot do a select researcher at school. That is why the online survey is help us in this period. And in this pre-survey, we focus on teacher, mentor, school principal, student, and parent. For the phase 2, after 4 months of working at the new Jensen school, we interview the teacher and also the mentor. Also, we collect their monthly journals, since they have to write the journal, what have been worked at their school. And tomorrow we are going to conduct a focus group discussion. And for the phase 3, we conduct a post-survey. So the post-survey will conduct after 1 year of working at the new generation school. So we will use the same tool and work with the same target group as the pre-survey in order to compare the situation before we start working at the new generation school and after 1 year of started working at those schools. Okay, so let's move to the key finding. Again, in this study, we just focus on the preliminary result or the pre-survey from 125 NGS teachers who volunteer to complete the online surveys in August and September 2020. And this pre-survey for the teacher aim at identifying their needs, their challenges, and their expectation toward the school-based mentoring program before it's happened at their school. We asked them about their general feeling regarding their teaching. The first question is about, do you consider quitting your school? So we can see that in general, we can say that 1/4 of the teacher is worried thinking about quitting their school. So another question is about, do you consider quitting the teaching profession? You can see that the majority, almost 90% of the teacher never think about quitting the teaching profession, whilst around 10% think about it from time to time. And for those who said that they want to quit their profession from time to time, there are some reasons, such as they had a plan for the project or the project to do, their salaries is too low, the classroom management is too difficult, they felt that they are not suited with the job, and also they have a family or personal problem. Asking about the difficulty encountered during teaching, we just pick up top 5 problems frequently happen in their class. So for the first one is about the student charter. The second one is the student don't master the basic knowledge at the level. The third one is student don't do their homework. The fourth one, student don't understand the lesson. And the last one is some students are absent. Also, we also asked about the top 5 risk problem that happen in the class. In this, the teacher mentioned that for the first top serious problem is about the student don't master the basic knowledge at their level. That is the serious problem in their classroom. The second one is the student performance is very, very low at the exam. The third one is the student charter. The fourth one is some students are absent. And the last one is students don't understand the lesson. So that is the top 5 serious problem. that the teacher face in classroom. And last but not least, we ask them to pick 5 difficult problem to solve. So we can see that for the first one is the student don't master the basic knowledge is the most difficult problem to solve in the classroom. The second one is the student don't participate in the lesson. The third one is student don't do their homework. The first one is student don't understand the lesson. And the fifth one is student chapter. We also asked them about the top 10 need of professional training. So for the first one is how to design the assessment. And the second one is how to improve the student memory. The third one is the ICT in education. The first one, how to improve the critical thinking of the student. The fifth one is inquiry-based learning, or we can say that how to organize the research work for the student. The sixth one is problem-based learning, or we can say that how to improve the problem-solving skill for the student. The seventh, how to improve student creative thinking. 8, how to plan the school years. 9, how to give explanation about the content of the lesson. And 10, how to organize the group work, or we can say collaborative learning. So there's 10 topic is what they really need in terms of professional development. We also asking about the classroom observation. Majority, or we can say almost all the teachers at NGS were observed by their management team. And for those who experience observed by the management team, 50% of them have very good feeling with this kind of observation, while 45.7% thought that it was acceptable or it's kind of normal after the management team observed the class. 85% of the teacher received the feedback or suggestion to improve the teaching. So at NGS, we can say that majority of the teacher receive the feedback to improve the teaching regular basis. Moving to the expectation of the mentoring program. The first question we asked them, do you know what mentoring is? So you can say that 20% of the teachers said that yes, they do understand what is mentoring, while 2/3 of the teachers said that no, they just have very vague idea about the mentoring, and 12% of the teachers said that no, they don't understand what is mentoring at all. We move to another point, asking about the whether they want to receive the professional support from the trained mentor or not. So 2/3 of the teachers said that yes, they do agree to receive the professional support from the trained mentor, while 21.6% said that it should be depend on the school policy. 13.6% said that it should be depend on the person, on the mentor, and just few of them said that no, they don't want to receive the professional support from the trained mentor. Another point is about the discussion with the mentor on a regular basis. So again, 2/3 of the teachers said they agree to discuss with the mentor on a regular basis, while 12% of them said that yes, it can be depend on the school policy, and 24% said that it should be depend on the mentor. Moving to another point is about whether the teacher allow the mentor to observe this classroom or not. So you can see that the majority of the teacher, 78.4% said that yes, they do agree having mentor observe their classroom, while 13.6% said that hey, it should be depend on the school policy, and 8% said that it should be depend on the mentor. We also asked about whether the teacher allows the mentor to see the lesson plan and give some feedback. So the majority of them agree that yeah, they do agree to give their lesson plan to the mentor. And 10% if it can be depend on the school policy. 7.2% it can be depend on the person. Moving to another part is about whether they agree to work with the mentor from another subject. That is really interesting question. And our data tell us that just only 44% of the teachers said that yes, they do agree to work with the mentor who have another subject, while 23.2% of the teachers said it can be depend on the person or depend on the mentor. 18.4% said that if it is a school policy, they accept it. While we can see that 40.4% of the teacher disagree working with the mentor who doesn't have the teaching subject like them. So those teachers prefer working with the mentor who have the same subject. Another point is about the teacher need mentor who can work with them for a long period of time, and also they need the mentor who can help them with a specific topic, not just the general topic, and not just for the very short periods of time. Another point is about in what way or in what kind of mechanism that they want to match between mentor and mentee. The teacher rests that it can be depend on their school principal. The school principal can make a decision. We can see 40% of the teacher said so. Following by they do agree to ask the mentor to choose them by themselves, while 20% said that they want to choose the mentor by their own. One more thing is about the majority of the teacher did not concern about the gender or about the age of the mentor, so they can work with any gender, will work with the mentor who are younger than them or older than them. Moving to the conclusion. For the case conclusion, we can see that the majority of the teachers agree to get the support from the mentor, to have the discussion with the mentor on a regular basis, allow the mentor to observe their class and share the lesson plan with the mentor. However, we can see that still around 14% of the teacher don't want to work with the mentor who have another subject. So they still prefer working with the mentor who have the same subject. Move to another point is about the age and the teaching experience of the majority teacher are the same as the mentor. But anyway, they don't care about the age and about the gender of the teacher. So it doesn't matter at all. And last but not least is you can see that almost all the teachers were experienced, observed by the management team, and also the majority of them used to receive the feedback to improve their job on a regular basis. So it's quite normal in new generation schools that the management team observe the teacher and give the feedback. They get used to kind of activity. So here is our research plan that we are going to do in order to finish this research study. Okay, so thank you. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Instructor Lihol, for your meaningful presentation. Actually, we really want to continue your speech, but because of the time limitation, we cannot continue. So can you answer the question in the chat box directly to our participant?
Yes, thank you for the question. It's a really interesting question. I will continue answer to those questions. Sorry for the time that we have cannot continue discussion, but I will spend my time to answer those questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Instructor. Thank you.